Hello, motherfuckers. How's it going, everyone out there on YouTube? It's the Crazy Cabano back at it again with a very exciting video for you guys. Now, this is a style of video that I've never done just because I never really learned how to approach these style of videos. I recently had a discussion with some great friends on Facebook, and they wanted to collect for the system. They've been interested for a while, but they don't know how to approach it. And this is a system that I haven't really been collecting too long myself, only a little under 5 years. But despite that very short time span, I've really learned to love and appreciate the system. Just for the uniqueness of it, the innovation it brought to the game market, and just the wonderful, amazing library of games that this system offers. Just a fun and exciting experience that you really can't get anywhere else. But with over 700 games for this system's library and over a dozen variations of the system, it can be kind of overwhelming to get into. It can kind of scare some people off. Hopefully this video will kind of give you good pointers and some easy advice to get your foot on the right path. I'm going to be recommending 10 games. I got 5 games to recommend for the Hue card, and I also got 5 games for the CD format. Now please keep in mind, guys, of 2 things. I'm only going to be showing off games that are worth $50 or less, just to keep things on the lower side of pricing. And also, I'm only going to be doing games that I own in my collection, just for the sake of being able to provide video footage of the game itself. This is the first time, like I said, that I've ever done a video like this, so wish me luck. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Alright, so for this video, I'm going to kind of separate it into 2 segments. The first segment is going to be for those people who want to collect for the system, but kind of want to take the easy route, don't want to break the bank. They don't want to go all out, not just yet. So for that, I would recommend just getting the PC Engine system. For the PC Engine, there's over like 6 different variants of this particular system. If you don't mind RF, I would definitely recommend the original PC Engine system. But if you do want something with AVL, I would either recommend the Core Graphics 1 or the Core Graphics 2. They're very small systems. I said they're not going to take up a whole lot of space, and they look very, very nice. So let's go ahead and start off with the 5 games that I can recommend for the Hue cards. So the first game that I'm going to be showing off for the Hue card side is a fighting legend when it comes to the arcades. It's imported on many systems, and I know you guys are wondering why this game, but I gotta have to talk about it a little bit, and that is Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Now I know what you guys are thinking, Crazy Cabano, this game's been released on so many other systems. That's true, but since the PC Engine is essentially an 8-bit console, I gotta say, this game looks definitely amazing for what it is to be played on an 8-bit system. It controls well, it looks beautiful, and plays excellent. In my opinion, it's on par with the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. If not, it could be better than both those versions in some forms or another. The music definitely has an 8-bit chiptune sound to it, but nonetheless, it's a very solid port to the arcade classic. Not only is it a great addition to any PC Engine collection, but it's also a very affordable title with complete copies going for about $20 to $25. If you do decide to pick up this game, I highly recommend picking up a beautiful PC Engine Avenue 6, since it does have 6 buttons on the controller. It'll definitely enhance your Street Fighter experience on the PC Engine, and can only be picked up for about $35 to $40, maybe $30 if you're lucky. Another Hue card that I can recommend for your collection is a Namco Classic, and it's a pretty good arcade port, and that is Valkyrie no Densetsu. Man, I gotta say, this game is a classic action platformer, which reminds me a little bit like Zelda, just due to the overtop view, the environments, the enemy you come across in the game, and you can actually go to certain stores to buy items and power-ups in the game. So just the whole feeling of Valkyrie no Densetsu just reminds me of a more fast-paced, action-based version of Legend of Zelda. It does have a little bit of RPG elements into it, but it focuses more on the action since it is based off an arcade port. It can get a little bit difficult, but overall it's a very enjoyable title to have on the PC Engine, which could be had for about $35 to $45, maybe $50 at the most, but it's definitely worth the pickup. Now this next game is a shmup classic that some of you guys may be familiar with, since it has been on other systems, but not this version in particular, and that is Datana Twin B. The The classic Verdum Cutum Up we all know and love is back with another amazing game on the PC Engine. Back when Konami was actually good. This was made by Konami, by the way. One of my personal favorite Twin B games in the series. Such an amazing looking game. Kinda showed the power of the PC Engine despite being an 8-bit system. Dot Twin B is such a joy to play with the colorful and vibrant visuals, its cute to silly enemies, and the catchy music. This is one of the many excellent and fun to play shmups that PC Engine provides at an affordable price, with copies going for about 30 to 40 bucks, which will definitely put a smile on your face. The fourth game on the HuCard list is a game that you really can't do one of these videos without mentioning at least one game from this series, and that is Bomberman, and we're going to be doing Bomberman 93. Not only can I recommend this classic title just because it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the TurboGrafx version, god damn! But it's just one of those games that you just have to own for the collection. Now in this game, you can travel to 6 different planets with its own theme, with many different challenges, level design, and different enemies to come across. If you're familiar with the series, then you should be familiar with the power-ups, the ability to kick bombs, laying down multiple bombs, make your bombs stronger, stuff like that. And with a 5-player multiplayer mode, if you do decide to pick up a multi-tap and 4 other controllers, then this is where this game really shines. And with prices starting at just 15 bucks, it would be an absolute shame to not pick up this classic game. Now this last game for the HuCard section not only is a part of an arcade port, it's part of a classic series from Namco, and I just figured, you know what, why not add it to the list, and that is Galaga 88. Galaga 88 is the 4th installment of the Galaga series, and it's an excellent port of the arcade version. It has all the fun, excitement, and addiction of the original Galaga game, with simple controls, very nice updated graphics, memorable sounds and music, and a very awesome bonus stage in between levels. Something you would expect from a Galaga game, but improved for the better. I love the fact that some of the stages they added plays like a vertical shmup, and they also have end bosses at the end of each level, and dimension warps that can take you to different paths within the game when you collect a certain amount of blue capsules by destroying certain enemies, which can definitely add a replay value to the game. A great port of an arcade classic overall, and a must own with prices ranging from only 10 to 20 bucks. Alright, so that's it for the HuCard section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of those games. Now, for the next section, the CD section, this is a whole different world entirely, and this is just one of those things where if you really want to go all out and you really want to get the true PC Engine experience, this system is what I would highly recommend, the PC Engine Dual R. There are a couple different ways to play the PC Engine CD-ROM games. This is probably my favorite one just because it looks nice, the color looks very sleek, very clean, and a lot of the capacitors are well built, has good quality, so it's not really going to mess up on you unlike the previous models. But yeah, I can definitely recommend this one. And let's check out some of the games that you can pick up for the Dual R. Just a side note, if you do get into the PC Engine CD-ROM, depending on which variant you get, you do have to worry about some of the system cards. Now for the CD-ROM format, there's 3 different formats of the CD-ROM. There's the original CD-ROM, Super CD-ROM, and Arcade CD-ROM. But we're not going to be including Arcade CD-ROM, despite the fact there are a lot of great Neo Geo ports, but we're not going to worry about that for this video. We're basically going to worry about original and Super CD-ROM. But if you do pick up a Duo, you don't have to worry about these. So let's go ahead and start with the first game, which is actually a Super CD-ROM game. For the most part, Super CD-ROM games just require more megs for the game to operate properly. But if you do get a Duo, like I said, you don't have to worry about any of that. So swinging into number 1 for the CD portion is going to be a very classic puzzle game, and that is Puyo Puyo CD, one of my personal favorites. If there was an iconic puzzle game that I could recommend on the PC Engine, it would be Puyo Puyo CD for sure. In case you're not familiar with the Puyo Puyo series, where the fuck have you been, bro? It's a very simple but sometimes challenging Tetris-style puzzle game where you compete against opponents by grouping together similar colored beads called puyos that drop down from the top of the screen. You have a limited amount of time to rotate and stack puyos to make sure they fit together. You want to focus on setting off chain reaction and setting garbage puyos to the opponent, which will slow them down from getting a set of chain reaction, which really intensifies the battle and makes for a great head-to-head combat. There's also a story mode where you battle characters within the game and exchange dialogue. But for 10 to 15 bucks, this is definitely a fun head-to-head game that you're definitely going to want to check out with a friend. The next game I can recommend is a game that I actually did a review of before, so if you want to check that out, I'm going to leave that link down below. It's a very, very good addition to the Wonder Boy series, and that is Wonder Boy 3 Monster Lair. To summarize Wonder Boy 3, this game is fucking awesome. It's a very, very long game though. That's the only bad thing I will have to say. Consisting of 14 levels. God damn! And each level consisting of 2 parts, the first one being a side-scrolling platformer, and the other portion being a horizontal shmup with a boss battle waiting for you at the end of every level. It's one of those games where you really have to time your moves and jumps correctly, since the game does have auto-scrolling feature, which can be an issue when you play the game for the first time. But other than that, everything else in this game is pretty solid. It's colorful, the soundtrack is great, level designs, the enemies are unique and cute, and for prices about 20 to 30 bucks, the Wonder Boy 3 makes a great experience for the PC Engine. Now the third game I can recommend for the CD segment, I swear to God, I feel like they ripped this from like a children's anime or something like that, and that is Eldis. Like I mentioned before, it's an interesting and cute em-up that kind of looks something that came out of like a kid's cartoon, with the vibrant and colorful environments and the very wacky cartoonish enemy scenes in the game. In the beginning, you're given the option to choose from 3 different weapon options, then it's off to battle. You do pick up weapon power-ups as you progress through the game, and you're definitely going to need it because despite the cute looks this game provides, it is very, very difficult. It's a one-hit kill. With a cute and kid-friendly approach to the shmup genre and an enjoyable soundtrack, this game can easily be enjoyed for its comedic characters and cartoon-style vibe. This game definitely doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's what I like about it, and you can enjoy it too with prices going for about 15 to 25 bucks. The next game on the list is a action puzzle classic, and I'm kind of surprised they actually made a game from this series for the PS4, and that is Pom Ping World. Now you may know this game as Buster Bros in the US. It's a very addicting action slash puzzle style game where you have to travel the world popping bubbles that are on the screen with your trusty harpoon gun, which seems kind of simple, right? You remember that game Asteroids from Atari? It's kind of the same concept, since each time you pop a bubble, they get smaller and smaller, bouncing around the screen carelessly, so you have to dodge them while popping the smaller bubbles until they disappear completely so you can progress to the next round. Besides the bubble, there's actually enemies that appear at random that'll try to hurt you, so you gotta watch out for them as well. In addition, there are plenty of power-ups that will assist you, such as an hourglass to slow down enemies, a stopwatch to freeze enemies, a double hook weapon, a shield, a gun, and much more. This is a must-have port of an arcade classic, and for only 15 to 20 bucks, it's a very fun addition to add to the collection. Now this last game that I'm going to be showing off for the CD is a game that I recently picked up, and I got it for a really, really awesome price. So if you like Gauntlet, if you like those style of games, you'll definitely enjoy this one, and that is Dungeon Explorer 2. If you do enjoy the Gauntlet series, you're definitely going to want to check out this game. Similar to Gauntlet, it's an overhead action game with a little bit of RPG elements into it. In this game, you have 8 different characters to select from, which each character has their own strengths, weapons, and stats. Just like Gauntlet, the enemies will appear in pretty big quantities to try to take you down, and they will spawn out of certain generators, but luckily, those generators can be destroyed. Some enemies will drop potions and power-ups. Each dungeon has different power-ups that can help you progress through the game, and have various traps that you must avoid. Another cool feature about this game is that you're actually able to unlock additional characters as you progress through this level, and you can also switch characters between game, but it only can be done at a certain part of the level. The best part about this game is that this game can be enjoyed with 4 other players, making this a 5-player dungeon exploring extravaganza. And this game can be yours for prices going for about 15 to 25 bucks, so go out and get that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That was the end of the video. I really want to thank you guys for watching, and hopefully this video will kind of showcase the PC Engine isn't all that scary to get into. It's an amazing system. I know there's a lot to it, but hopefully this video kind of helped you out, gave you some nice tips and pointers, and gave you recommendations of great games you can check out if you do want to collect for the PC Engine, which I highly recommend. It's an amazing system, and what I just showed was just a very, very small glimpse into the world of the PC Engine. I mean, there's a lot of great games you can pick up that are kind of expensive, but there's definitely a lot of great games you can pick up that are very cheap and are very great games to kind of help start your collection. And for all my other PC Engine collectors out there, are there any other games you would recommend that I did not showcase in this video? If there are, please let me know in the comments section. And yeah, if you guys like what you saw, be sure to like and subscribe. Please stay tuned, please subscribe if you want to check out other video game content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.